Shishi Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishmar Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Shri Guru Dev ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishmar Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishmar Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupad Rashata Rashata Shishmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupad Rashata Rashata Shishmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Nitya Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Srila Gaur Kishoras Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nitya Pravishta Srila Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura ki jai. Jai Saptan Goswami Bhakti Bhagirati Shishimar Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura ki jai. Tadir Shubha Avirbhav Titi ki jai. Jai 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 Srila Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura ki jai. Jai Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupa Nugauriya guru-varga ki jai. Shri Śrīla Baladev Vijibhushan Prabhu ki jai. Śrīla Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki jai. Shri Narottam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu Trai ki jai. Śrīla Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Sharda Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vraja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Abhishta Pradati Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kunda ki jai. Shri Amuna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Shri Chaturmasya Vrat ki jai. Vrat Palan Kari Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Ananta Kuri Vaishnava ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Jai Saptam Goswami Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura ki jai. Hari Bo Kishore Krishna Prabhu. And let's see who else is there. Oops. Okay. Oh, one thing I just remembered. I just finished the previous program, the Japa Stotram program. I actually went 1 minute overtime. That's why I started a couple minutes late. But I should do Paran really quick because we're gonna do this program for a while. So, 1 second. I have my Jagannath Mahaprasad right here. So, Dandavat Pranams everybody. Let's see all who's here. Raj Bhuvan Yadav ji, Karuna Didi, Rup Manjari Didi, and Nitai, Ganga Mata ji. Hare Krishna everybody. Jai Jagannath Mahaprasad ki jai. So, yeah, I don't have anything planned right now, so this program is very flexible. One thing I would like to read is there's this article by Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada called A Speciality of Thakur Bhaktivinod's Vani or something like that. Yeah, that one's a really important one for understanding how to approach Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's teachings. And then we could read things by Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. We can sing kirtans by him. We can sing kirtans about him. There's just so much. So, yeah, and Kishore Prabhu, if you have anything that you want to read or share or anything like that, you're totally free to. Okay, so maybe we can start with We'll start with Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya by Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, and then we can sing a song about Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. And then we'll read different things. Let me just open up. I'm just looking at the chat. Okay. Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya. O Gurudev, give me a drop of mercy and make this servant more humble than a blade of grass. Give me the strength to tolerate everything and free me from my desire for recognition. Give me the power, O Master, to honor all living entities according to their due. Then I shall chant the holy names of Sri Hari blissfully, and my offenses will be vanquished. When will this person receive such mercy and thus be successful, O Master? I am devoid of strength and intelligence, and am extremely fallen. Kindly take my soul and make me your own. If I consider my qualification, I find nothing of value. Your mercy is the essence of my existence. If you are not merciful, then, bitterly weeping, I will no longer maintain my life. Gurudev O Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Koro e dase Trinapeka Atihina Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Koro e dase Trinapeka Atihina Sakala Sahane Baladiya Koro Sakala Sahane Baladiya Koro Nijamane Sprihahina Nijamane Sprihahina Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Koro e dase Trinapeka Atihina Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Koro e dase Trinapeka Atihina Shakale Saman Korite Shakati Deho Nata Jatha Jatha O Shakale Saman Korite Shakati Deho Nata Jatha Jatha Tabe to gaibo Hari Nama Sukhe Tabe to gaibo Hari Nama Sukhe Aparadha habe hata Aparadha habe hata Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Koro trinapekha atihina gurudev kripa bindu diya koroe dase trinapekha atihina kabe heno kripa labhiya e jan kritartha hoibe nata o kabe heno kripa labhiya e jana kritartha hoibe nata o shakti buddhi ami ati din shakti buddhihin ami ati din koro more atma satha koro more atma satha o shakti buddhihin ami ati din koro more atma satha koro more atma satha gurudev kripa bindu diya koro e dase trinapekha atihina gurudev kripa bindu diya koro e dase trinapekha atihina jagata vichare kichu nahi par jagata vichare kichu nahi par tomar karuna sa tomar karuna sa karuna na hoile kandiya kandiya karuna na hoile kandiya kandiya prana na rakhibo ara prana na rakhibo yaar jaya gurudeva 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 jaya gurudeva jaya gurudeva 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 jaya gurudeva. Hare Krishna, Champak Didi and Shubhananda Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Jai Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura Avirag Didi ki jai. Hari Bol. Okay, so now, oh, 1 second, let me just check the. Oh, Hari Bol. Oh, I already saw Ganga Mataji, yes, and Raj Bhuban Yadavji. Okay, so now we're going to sing a song about Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. Where is it? Let me find it. It is, if I go to vineofdevotion.com, it's my website, vineofdevotion.com, and then I just made a post yesterday, Kirtan of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda, and 2 announcements. In this post, you'll find the kirtan that we're going to sing. This is also the article that I want to read today, that one right there. Oh, by the way, I'm going to be going through, over the next weeks, I'm going to go through and go through each one of these songbooks of Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, Kalyana Kalpataru, Sharanagati, Gitavali, and Gitamala. And I'll send out a post. I'm going to do the first book, Kalyana Kalpataru, next to Kadashi. And then after that, Sharanagati and Gitavali. I'll probably do those 2 together, and then Gitamala. Yeah. Okay, so it's at the bottom of the page here, verses 6 to 8. Yeah, this one. Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura Viraha Gunagan. I sent it out on the Gaudiya Kirtan mailing list. Okay, let's hide this and make this big. There's also this, the Bhaktivinoda Dashakam by Srimad Bhakti Deshik Acharya Maharaj. Maybe we should sing this also. We'll sing at the end if there's time. But for now, we'll sing this one. Okay. Oh, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. This song, the author is not written, but I got it from the Bengali Gaudiya Giti Kucha. And I see all the different Gaudiya Mat songbooks have this kirtan in it. O Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, personal associate of Shri Gaur Hari, where are you? To bestow divine love for Shri Krishna, you came into this mortal world out of your compassion, in the guise of a human being. In the dense darkness of the new moon night, a time devoid of proper guidance, when religion was in turmoil, deeply sleeping, in other words, ignorant humans behaved illicitly. The heart of Antaryami, the indwelling Lord, broke into pieces as he wept at the suffering of the living entities. At that time, you appeared, O Acharya, like the auspicious dawning of the sun. Gracing the skies of you appeared like the auspicious dawning of the sun, gracing the skies of the land of Goda, just as the sun rises from the eastern Udayagiri mountain. You are indeed the embodiment of the topmost object of attainment, prem, because you bestowed the fundamental root mantra, prema pumartha mahan, that divine love constitutes the greatest goal of human life. You expounded within hundreds of scriptures and papers, articles, that Nam alone is the sadhya, Nam is the sadhya, the essence of all goals, and Nam alone is the sadhan. It's the process to attain the goal. Nam is everything. And we see, really, in all of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's writings, he gave most emphasis to Nam. And Jaiva Dharma and Harinam Chintamani especially, everywhere. He really puts the main focus on Sri Nam. Upon seeing within your scriptures an analysis of Shuddha Nam, the pure name, and Aparad, offenses to the holy name, the community of saintly people became stunned. Their innumerable voices sing of your glories. Your writings, full of transcendental emotion, are in a language that is natural, simple, and like a shower of nectar. On every page and on every line, you have gathered exquisite gems of conclusive truth, Bhakti Siddhanta, having examined the ocean of Shastra. Those beautiful gems are contained in your literary works such as Sri Krishna Samhita, Sri Sajantoshani, Sri Chaitanya Shikshamrita, and Sri Harinam Chintamani. Sri Sharnagati attracts even the all-attractive Lord, Sri Krishna. And with Jaiva Dharma, you establish the intrinsic nature, you establish the sarup of the jiva. Sri Mahaprabhu Shiksha, the songs of Sri Gitavali and Sri Gitamala, the narration of Sri Prem Pradeep, the shelter of Kalyana Kalpaturu, in which Kalyan, eternal auspiciousness, exists. These abundant gifts of yours are unlimited and everlasting. The Sri Vishwa Vaishnav Raj Sabha and your Sri Navadip Dham Pracharini Sabha raise the magnificence of Sri Dham Mayapur to the highest summit and thus proclaim your supramundane glories. The nature of one who is chaste is to always await the service of his master. If one is indifferent to this, one is considered to be like a prostitute. The essence of all chastity for all living beings is to engage in one pointed service to Sri Krishna, the master of all. You have given this discovery of the hidden message of the Vedas. Those who are nourished by the flow of your affection, or the current of your conceptions, are the residents of Goloka Vrindavan while on this earth. Even while on this earth, they are the residents of Goloka Vrindavan, those who are nourished by the flow of Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's conceptions. the current of his conceptions. Distributing the beautiful nectarian current of Sri Nam, they extinguish the forest fire of material existence. You are eternal reality beyond time, sporting in transcendence. Thus, you are completely incomprehensible to the conditioned souls. How shall I describe the nature of separation from you? The desire to do so is like a lame person's desire to cross a mountain. I am extremely weak, devoid of the strength of pious action and devoid of the strength of knowledge. Nor do I know what is bhakti. May the dust of your lotus feet and the water that has washed your lotus feet, which deliver the universe, be my means and support. Who will understand the gravity of your nature and your intense attachment to that Sri Krishna who belongs only to Sri Radha? Even if it takes millions and millions of births, please make me a rightful candidate of this understanding. This is my petition at your two lotus feet. To give pleasure to Sri Krishna, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura brought Sri Varsha Bhanavi Daita Das, Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Ṭhākura Prabhupada, to this material world. O inhabitants of the universe, at the tips of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's lotus feet, perfect the science of performing bhajan of Sri Krishna in a way that is pleasing to him. Today in Bengal, throughout all of India, and in the cities in Western countries, the devout are worshipping you with proper articles for worship. By means of Sankirtan, I offer you my very soul. Thus, worshipping your lotus feet, I beg for a particle of your mercy. Isn't that such a beautiful song? 1 second, I just need to find the page for it in this book for my friends here. One second, let me just find it here. আমি একটা kirtan ধরব কি হ্যাঁ 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 মায়াপুরে যাব মানে আমি 10:30টার সময় আমি কেশবজি গড়িয়া মাঠে যাব তারপরে না না আসবো না না তো 10:30টার সময় আমি আপনাকে চাবি দেব আমার মাকে আমি বলে দেব ঠিক আছে মা আসলে ঠিক আছে আমার ভাই কোথায় নই ভাইটা ঠিক আছে হ্যাঁ জানি জানি দেব ও বলে দিয়েছে ঠিক আছে দেব আচ্ছা আজকে আমি কাজে বেরিয়ে যাব আচ্ছা আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে sorry about that Hari Bol, Nri Hari Prabhu, and Bhavatarani Mataji.
Dandavat, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so now let's sing this song. Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to Mayapur, and so the person was telling me to give him the key before I leave. Okay, so there's a recording of myself and Janava singing this song here, if you ever want to get the melody for it. Remember, you can find this on vineofdevotion.com. Just click on the first article and scroll to the very bottom, and there's a link there. And you can find this if you want to have the song for yourself. Okay. Kathā Bhaktivinoda. We'll sing it together. Shri Gora Swajan Kathā Bhaktivinoda. Shri Gora Swajan Krishna Premadite Eshe Chile Marte Manavera Saje Karuna Karan Kathā Bhaktivinoda Shri Gora Swajan Kathā. Remember this top line here, because I'm not going to go back to it afterwards. Kathā, that means where? Bhaktivinoda Shri Gora Swajan. Oh, where are you, Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, personal associate of Gaur Hari? Oh, Kathā Bhaktivinoda Shri Gora Swajan যাবে ধর্ম বিপ্লবের অমানিসা গরে সুসুপ্ত মানব ব্যভিচার করে অন্তর্যামী প্রভুর হৃদয় ভিতরে জীবের দুঃখেতে করিয়া ক্রান্তন কোথা ভক্তি বিনোদ শ্রী গৌর স্বজান তখন গৌর গগনের উদয় গিরিতে উদিলে আচার্য মঙ্গলয়ুষাতে গৌর মনোভীষ্ট স্থাপিয়া বিশ্বতে অজ্ঞানান্ধকার করিলে মোচন কোথা ভক্তি বিনোদ শ্রী গৌর স্বজান কোথা ভক্তি বিনোদ শ্রী গৌর স্বজান প্রেম প্রয়োজন বিগ্রহ তুমি তো মহাপুমার্থ প্রেম মূল মন্ত্র শত গ্রন্থে পত্রে করিলে বিবৃত নাময় সাধ্য সার নাময় সাধন কোথা ভক্তি বিনোদ শ্রী গৌর স্বজান কোথা ভক্তি বিনোদ শ্রী গৌর স্বজান শুদ্ধ নাময়ার নাময় পরার বিশ্লেষিতে আছে তব গ্রন্থ মাজা দেখি স্তব্ধীভূত সজ্জন সমাজ কোটি কণ্ঠে করে তব গুণগান কোথা ভক্তি বিনোদ শ্রী গৌর স্বজন কোথা ভক্তি বিনোদ শ্রী গৌর স্বজন সহজ সরল অমৃত বর্ষিণী ভাব ভাষা ভরা তোমার লেখনী প্রতি পত্রে ছত্রে সিদ্ধান্ত সমানি শাস্ত্র সিন্ধু ছানি করেছ চায়ন কোথা ভক্তি বিনোদ শ্রী গৌর স্বজন কোথা ভক্তি বিনোদ শ্রী গৌর স্বজন শ্রী কৃষ্ণ সংহিতা সজ্জন তোষানি শিক্ষামৃত হরি নাম চিন্তামণি শ্রী শরণাগতি শ্রী কৃষ্ণ কর্ষণি জৈব ধর্মে জীবের স্বরূপ স্থাপন জৈব ধর্মে জীবের স্বরূপ স্থাপন মহাপ্রভুর শিক্ষা গীতাবলি গান গীতমালা প্রেম প্রদীপয়াখ্যান কল্পতরু রাজে বিরাজে কল্যাণ অপারয়নন্ত তব ভূরি অপারয়নন্ত তব ভূরি ধাম কোথা ভক্তি বিনোদ শ্রী গৌর স্বজন কোথা ভক্তি বিনোদ শ্রী গৌর স্বজন শ্রী বিশ্ব বৈষ্ণব রাজসভায়ার ধাম প্রচারিণী সংসার তোমার উন্নত শিরসে ধাম মায়াপুর তব অপার্থিব কীর্তি করে বিঘোষণ তব অপার্থিব কীর্তি করে বিঘোষণ কোথা ভক্তি বিনোদ শ্রী গৌর স্বজন কোথা ভক্তি বিনোদ শ্রী গৌর স্বজন অপেক্ষিক হয় পতিব্রতা ধর্ম নিরপেক্ষা হলে বেশাতে গণনা পাতিব্রত্য সার কৃষ্ণ এক সেবান এ বেদ গোপ্যবাণী দিয়েছ সন্তান কোথা ভক্তি বিনোদ শ্রী গৌর স্বজন কোথা ভক্তি বিনোদ শ্রী গৌর স্বজন তব স্নেহ ধারা संवर्धित जारा भूलोके गोलोक निवासिता वितरि श्री नामा सुधार सुधारा भवदावानल कोरे निर्वापान होता भक्ति विनोद श्री गौर स्वजन कोथा भक्ति विनोद श्री गौर स्वजन तुमि कालायित नित चिर्विलास तत्व बद्ध जीव पखे अगम्य नितांत केमोने वर्णिबो ओ विरह तत्व जेनो ऐवांछा पंगोर पर्वत लंकन जेनो ऐवांछा पंगोर पर्वत लंकन कोथा भक्ति विनोद श्री गौर स्वजन कोथा भक्ति विनोद श्री गौर स्वजन नाहि कर्म बल नाहि ज्ञान बल ना जानी भक्ति मोरा सुदुर्बल तव पद रेणु तव पद जल होक साधन संबल भुवन पावन होक साधन संबल भुवन पावन कोथा भक्ति विनोद श्री गौर स्वजन भक्ति विनोद श्री गौर स्वजन के भुजिबे तोमार गंभीर स्वभाव श्री राधार कृष्णे गौर अनुराग कोटि कोटि जने करो दाय भाग तव पद युगे ए निवेदन ओ कोटि कोटि जने करो दाय भाग तव पद युगे ए निवेदन कोथा भक्ति विनोद श्री गौर स्वजन कोथा भक्ति विनोद श्री गौर स्वजन ओ भक्ति विनोद कृष्ण विनोदिते एने प्रपंचे श्री राधा दायिते भक्ति विनोद कृष्ण विनोदिते एने प्रपंचे श्री राधा दायिते साधो विश्ववासी अय पद प्रांते अनुकूल कृष्ण भजन विज्ञान भक्ति विनोद श्री गौर स्वजन भक्ति विनोद श्री गौर स्वजन अयाज भांगे ओ भारते पाश्चात्य नगरे पूजारी पूजिचे योग्य उपचारे आत्मा पुष्प आत्मा पुष्पांजलि संकीर्तन द्वारे आत्मा पुष्पांजलि संकीर्तन द्वारे ओ pada puja kori jache kripa kana. O pada puja kori jache kripa kana. Kotha bhakti vinod Shri Gaura Swajan Kotha bhakti vinod Shri Gaura Swajan Kotha bhakti vinod Shri Gaura Swajan Kotha bhakti vinod Shri Gaura Swajan. Krishna prema dite eshe chile marte manavira saje karuna karan. Krishna prema dite eshe chile marte manavira saje karuna karan. Kotha bhakti vinod Shri Gaura Swajan. Kotha bhakti vinod Shri Gaura Swajan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Bhakti Vinod, Bhakti Vinod, Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura, Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura, Bhakti Vinod Jai, Bhakti Vinod, Bhakti Vinod Jai Ṭhākura, Bhakti Vinod. Isn't that such a beautiful kirtan? Kishore is asking if I have any idea who composed it. No idea. But it couldn't have been anybody too late. Well, it is in most of the Gaudiya Math songbooks, and so maybe it was written during the time of Śrīla. It probably was written during the time of Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Ṭhākura Prabhupada. During Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Ṭhākura's time, if you look at the Gaudiya magazines, most of the articles don't have an author name. Like all of his disciples, they wouldn't write their name. They would just write the article and publish it. And so you can't really tell who wrote which article. Like with Param Gurudev's articles, the only way, I think it's because Śrīla Vāman Goswami Maharaj worked on the articles and you can tell Param Gurudev's language that, he extracted all of Param Gurudev's articles from the weekly Gaudiya magazine. But yeah, it's very difficult to... yeah. Also, one thing, it could be Ananta Vasudeva actually, because because Ohe Premara Ṭhākura Gora, I found out, was written by Ananta Vasudeva. But our Param Gurudev and all the acharyas, even though they put that song in the songbook, that song was very dear to Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Ṭhākura. In all of the Gaudiya Maths, nobody put the name of who the author was. I think it was because it was Ananta Vasudeva. And so, yeah, if you read the articles that Param Gurudev wrote, Bhakti Brighan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, he wrote 2 years of articles just cutting everything, like oh my God, they're really intense, the articles, cutting all these oppositions to Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Ṭhākura Prabhupada from Ananta Vasudeva. Okay. So, by the way, those articles that I mentioned, they are available on, Srivas is translating them. I think he's working on the last one now. But they're all available on bigdrum.us. I'll show you. It's a really great website. You know, Shrivas, my very good friend, he just arrived in India yesterday. Anyways, he's always translating different things. Like, let's see, bigdrum.us. Let's see what the last thing he posted was, actually. Wonder if Sri Bhagavatir Punaravritti, the reiteration of Sri Bhagavat. Part 4. See, this is a series. Achinta Bheda Bhed. Srila Jiva Goswami and Balavidya Vibhushan. Achinta Bheda Bhed. The importance of Mangala Charan. This is really neat. This is Vairagya, a satire poem. And this is Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Swami Prabhupada. He wrote a whole story, like a play. And all these different people are referring to different people, like Ananta Kam, infinite lust, Charmahamsa, is referring to, Ananta Vasudeva. This is referring to Ananta Vasudeva. And it's a really... Swami Kanchana Vilasa is referring to Bhakti Vilas Tirtha Goswami Maharaj. And so you can see this whole play that he wrote. And it said to be continued at the end, but we can't find the next part of it. Okay. All right, that's off topic though. So, I was thinking maybe we can start with a glorification of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada. Let me just check the comments see if anybody has any suggestions or anything like that. And Hare Krishna, Raseshwari Mataji, and Vidya Lala Sadidi, and Baladev Prabhu, and Sudevi Didi. Dandavat Pranams. And I see there's a bunch of other people, 13 people on Facebook and YouTube. So pranams to everybody. Haribol. And I always mention this, sorry if it gets repetitive, but if you write a comment, then I can see who you are, like I can see your name. Otherwise, I have no idea who's watching. I like seeing who's watching, but you don't have to. But if you write a comment, then that's nice. Okay, so let's go back to. Okay, I'm going to vineofdevotion.com. That's my website, and then this article here, the kirtans of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. If you go there, then here, this link right here. In an article by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, he strongly cautions us. So if you click on that, that will take you to the article I'm going to read right now. Wow, that's really ugly colors. I sent this out on the Gaudiya Kirtan mailing list. It was different colors before, but I have some setting on my browser that makes everything dark. Maybe let's read it on Word. I'm just copying and pasting it onto a Word doc. And this was published in Rays of the Harmonist. What issue? It's published in Rays of the Harmonist, Volume 2, Number 2, Kartik 1998. I think this is originally written in English. Yeah, it is. This is from the Harmonist, December 1931, Volume 29, Number 6. So this didn't need to be translated. These are his direct words in English. Let's do some formatting. Okay. A speciality of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's Vani, from the Harmonist, December 1931, by Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada. His specific kindness to those engrossed in all kinds of mental speculation. we avail of the opportunity offered by the anniversary celebrations of the advent of Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda to reflect on the right method for obtaining those benefits that have been made accessible to humanity by the grace of this great devotee of Krishna. Because this is Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's direct English, you'll see sometimes there are very long sentences and sometimes they're a little bit difficult to understand, but this one isn't too difficult actually. Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda has been specifically kind to those unfortunate persons who are engrossed in mental speculation of all kinds. He's been especially kind to those people. This is a prevalent malady of the present age, that people are engrossed in mental speculation of all kinds. But Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura has been specifically kind to those particular unfortunate people. The other acharyas who appeared before Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda did not address their discourses so directly to the empiric thinkers. They had been more merciful to those who were naturally disposed to listen to discourse on the absolute, without being dissuaded by the specious arguments and avowed opponents of Godhead. Śrīla Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda has taken the trouble of meeting the perverse arguments of mental speculationists by the superior transcendental logic of the absolute truth. It is thus possible for the average modern readers to profit by the perusal of his writings. I love this sentence. That day is not far distant when the priceless volumes penned by Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda will be reverentially translated by the recipients of his grace into all the languages of the world. That day is not far distant, and we are now living in those days. We're living in the prediction of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. The writings of Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda provide the golden bridge by which the mental speculationist can safely cross the raging waters of fruitless empiric controversies that trouble the peace of those who choose to trust in their guidance for finding the truth. As soon as the sympathetic reader is in a position to appreciate the sterling quality of Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda's philosophy, the entire vista of the revealed scriptures of the world will automatically open out to his reclaimed vision. Isn't that beautiful? All Shastras are revealed through Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's teachings. It is not possible to understand the message of Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda without securing his guiding grace. Okay, so this is how we approach Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's teachings. If we're not doing this, then we have no chance of understanding anything of what he's written. There have, however, already arisen serious misunderstandings regarding the proper interpretation of the life and teachings of Śrīla Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda. Those who suppose they understand the meaning of his message without securing the guiding grace of the Acharya are disposed to unduly favor the methods of empiric study of his writings. That is not how to approach Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's writings, by empiric study. No. There are persons who have got by heart almost everything that he wrote without being able to catch the least particle of his meaning. See that? There are persons who have got by heart almost everything that he wrote without being able to catch the least particle of his meaning. So even if you have memorized by heart all of his teachings, you might not even be able to catch a particle of what he's actually meaning in those things that you memorized. Such study cannot benefit those who are not prepared to act up to the instructions lucidly conveyed by his words. So his words are not understood by the brain. They're understood when we act up to the instructions that in those words, and then we get the mercy, we get his mercy, and through the mercy, we're able to understand. Otherwise, we won't be able to catch the least particle of his meaning, right? There is no honest chance of missing the warnings of Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda. Yes, he's written about this very clearly. He's given warnings about this. So if you've read his teachings, you can't honestly have missed what he said about this. Those, therefore, who are misled by the perusal of his writings are led astray by their own obstinate perversity in sticking to the empiric course which they prefer to cherish against his explicit warnings. Let these unfortunate persons look more carefully into their own hearts Let these unfortunate persons look more carefully into their own hearts for the cause of their misfortunes. But see, if those who are misled by the perusal of his writings, perusal means reading, right? Like studying. Peruse means, to read, especially in a careful way. So even careful reading, those who are misled by the careful reading of his writings are led astray by their own obstinate perversity in sticking to the empiric course which they prefer to cherish against his explicit warnings. So even carefully reading, studying, and memorizing everything and really trying to understand it all, you'll be misled if you're not actually trying to follow and beg for the mercy, read in a submissive mood, but you're just trying to figure out with your brain, then you'll be completely misled. By his own words, you'll be misled. The personal service of the pure devotee is essential for understanding the spiritual meaning of the words of Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda. Let me reread that, it's such an important point. The personal service of the pure devotee is essential for understanding the spiritual meaning of the words of Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda. The editor of this journal, so Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur referring to himself, the editor of this journal, originally started by Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, I have been trying to draw the attention of all the followers of Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda to this all-important point of his teachings. It is not necessary to try to place ourselves on a footing of equality with Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda. We are not likely to benefit by any mechanical imitation of any practices of Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda on the opportunist principle that they may be convenient for us to adopt. The Guru is not an erring mortal whose activities can be understood by the fallible reason of unreclaimed humanity. There is an eternally impassable line of demarcation between the Savior and the saved. Those who are really saved can alone know this. Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda belongs to the category of the spiritual world teachers who eternally occupy the superior position. The teachings of Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda cannot be accessed by hearing from someone who is not devoted. The present editor has all along felt it is his paramount duty to try to clear up the meaning of the life and teachings of Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda by the method of submissive listening to the transcendental sounds from the lips of the pure devotee. There's a beautiful article written by my Param Gurudev Śrīla Bhakti-Brigyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, and he mentions all these same points in a different way, but the exact same points of how until you become Satchid Ananda yourself, you cannot truly understand the meanings of the words of Satchid Ananda Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. Like you need those Satchit Ananda to be able to understand his words. And if you think you understand otherwise, then you're misled. So the present editor has all along felt it is his paramount duty to clear out the meaning of the life and teachings of Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda by the method of submissive listening to the transcendental sounds from the lips of the pure devotee. The Guru who realizes the transcendental meaning of all sounds is in a position to serve the Absolute by the direction of the Absolute conveyed through every sound. The transcendental sound is Godhead. The mundane sound is non-Godhead. all sound has got these opposite aptitudes. So even though we might be repeating, it's like Harinam is like that also. There's Shuddhanam and there's Namabhas and there's Namaparad. So I think the same thing goes with Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's teachings. There's, if you're really sincerely trying to follow and you're begging for his mercy, you're serving a pure devotee and you're hearing from a pure devotee, and then you have some chance of Shuddha Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura teachings, like your understanding, your speaking of his teachings, like that will be Shuddha. But if you're not, then it's just mundane sound, even though it's his transcendental words coming from your contaminated mouth, and you're not having the right mood. That will also be mundane sounds, and you won't be able to understand anything. All sound has got these opposite aptitudes. The transcendental sound is Godhead, and the mundane sound is not Godhead. All sound reveals its divine face to the devotee and only presents its polluting aspect to the empiric pedant. See, right there, he's saying it. All sound reveals its divine face to the devotee and only presents its deluding aspect to the empiric pedant. So to mundane scholars, people who are in the university, academics, they will be deluded by Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's words. They won't be able to actually, the sound of Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's words will not reveal its divine face to them. It only reveals its divine face to the devotee. The devotee talks apparently the same language as the deluded empiric pedant who has got by heart the vocabulary of the scriptures. Yes, see, the devotee and the academic, they both might speak the same words, the same language, but notwithstanding apparent identity of performance, one has no access to the reality, while the other is absolutely free from all delusion. Those who repeat the teachings of Thakur Bhaktivinoda from memory do not necessarily understand the meaning of the words they mechanically repeat. Those who can pass an empiric examination regarding the contents of his writings are not necessarily also self-realized souls. They may not at all know the real meaning of the words they have learned by the method of empiric study. Take, for example, the name Krishna. Every reader of Thakur Bhaktivinoda's works must be aware that the name manifests himself on the lips of his serving devotees, although he is inaccessible to our mundane senses. So it is one thing to pass the examination by reproducing this true conclusion from the writings of Thakur Bhaktivinoda, and quite another matter to realize the nature of the holy name of Krishna by the process conveyed by the words. Yes. This is so important. Thakur Bhaktivinoda did not want us to go to the clever mechanical reciter of the mundane sound for obtaining access to the transcendental name of Krishna. Such a person may be fully equipped with all the written arguments in explanation of the nature of the divine name. But if we listen to all these arguments from the dead source, the words will only increase our delusion. Listen to this. The very same words coming from the lips of the devotee will have the diametrically opposite effect. So hearing even the pure words of Srimad Bhagavatam, or the pure words of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura from a dead source, that will only increase our delusion. Whereas those same words coming from the lips of a pure devotee will have a diametrically opposite effect. It will completely purify us. It will make us... So our empiric judgment can never grasp the difference between the two performances. Can't tell externally, but through your brain. The devotee is always right, and the non-devotee in the shape of the empiric pedant is always and necessarily wrong. In the one case, there is always present the substantive truth, and nothing but the substantive truth. In the other case, there is present the apparent or misleading hypothesis, and nothing but untruth. The wording may have the same external appearance in both cases, exactly the same words. The non-devotee may recite verses from the scriptures identical to the ones recited by the devotee. And this is a really strong point. And the devotee may even apparently misquote something. But the corresponding values of the two processes remain always categorically different, even if the devotee misquotes something. And the non-devotee gets it all right. There's still, the non-devotee is speaking untruth, and the devotee is speaking the truth, even if he's misquoting something. The devotee is right even when he apparently misquotes, and the non-devotee is wrong, even when he quotes correctly the very words, chapter, and verse of the scriptures. The direct, unambiguous appearance of divinity. It is not empiric wisdom that is the object of quest of the devotee. Those who read the scriptures for gathering empiric wisdom will be pursuing a wild goose chase. There are not a few dupes of their... Wait, what's a dupe? 1 second. A dupe is... Oops, 1 second. We're looking for a noun. Okay, a duplicate or copy of something. I had dupes of a lot of programs on my laptop. So it's a duplicate, it's not the real thing, it's just a duplicate. It also, like as a verb, it means deceive, trick, hoodwink, hoax, swindle, defraud, cheat. And as a noun, you were an innocent dupe in Caroline's little game, a victim, a pawn, a puppet, instrument, fool, simpleton, a sucker, a stooge, a sitting duck, sitting target, pushover, chump, muggins. Okay, whatever. Okay, so there are not a few dupes of their empiric scriptural erudition. These dupes have their admiring underdupes. But the mutual admiration society of dupes does not escape, by the mere weight of their number, the misfortunes due to the deliberate pursuit of the wrong course in accordance with the suggestions of our lower selves. But the mutual admiration society of dupes does not escape, by the mere weight of their number, the misfortunes due to the deliberate pursuit of the wrong course in accordance with the suggestions of our lower selves. Oh God, this writing is sometimes so... What are the scriptures? What are the scriptures? They are nothing but the record by the pure devotees of the divine message appearing on the lips of the pure devotees. Huh. That's a very interesting definition of scriptures. It's the record by the pure devotees of the divine message appearing on the lips of pure devotees, of the pure devotees. So I guess even if Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita is coming from the lips of an academic, that's not scripture. But when these same words are coming on the lips of a pure devotee, then it is scripture. Because scripture is just the record by the pure devotees of the divine message appearing on their lips. The message conveyed by the devotees is the same in all ages. The words of the devotees are ever identical with the scriptures. Any meaning of the scriptures that belittles the function of the devotee, who is the original communicant of the divine message, contradicts its own claim to be heard. Those who think that the Sanskrit language and its lexicographical sense is the language of divinity, they are as deluded as those who hold that the divine message is communicable through any other spoken dialects. All languages simultaneously express and hide the absolute. The mundane face of all languages hides the truth. The transcendental face of all sound expresses nothing but the absolute. So the mundane face of all languages hides the truth, and the transcendental face of all sounds expresses nothing but the absolute. The pure devotee is the speaker of the transcendental language. The transcendental sound makes his appearance on the lips of his pure devotee. This is the direct, unambiguous appearance of divinity. On the lips of non-devotees, the Absolute always appears in his deluding aspect. To the pure devotee, the Absolute reveals himself under all circumstances. To the conditioned soul, if he is disposed to listen in a truly submissive spirit, the language of the pure devotee can alone impart knowledge of the Absolute. Okay, so to the conditioned soul, if he is disposed to listen in a truly submissive spirit, the language of the pure devotee can alone impart the knowledge of the Absolute. The conditioned soul mistakes the deluding for the real aspect when he chooses to lend his ear to the non-devotee. This is the reason why the conditioned soul is warned to avoid all association with non-devotees. And I see this as a big anartha in me. I lots of times like to listen to like more scholarly things, but from academics, from scholars. I love the research that they do in making all these difficult topics, making them really easily accessible and understandable, and like that. And like that's what I'm excited to listen to. But really, if they aren't a pure devotee, or if they're not a sincere devotee, then everything that they're speaking is just deluding. It's all just Maya. And so really, it's not about who's speaking. It's not about what the person is speaking. It's about who the person is speaking it. His teachings demolish the empiric method of approaching the Absolute. Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda is acknowledged by all his sincere followers as possessing the above powers of the pure devotee of Godhead. His words have to be received from the lips of a pure devotee. Okay, so Bhaktivinoda Thakura's words have to be received from the lips of a pure devotee. If his words are listened to from the lips of a non-devotee, they will certainly deceive. If his works are studied in the light of one's own worldly experience, their meaning will refuse to disclose itself to such readers. His works belong to the class of the eternal revealed literature of the world, and must be approached for their right understanding through their exposition by the pure devotee. If no help from the pure devotee is sought, the works of Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda will be grossly misunderstood by their readers. Again, if no help from the pure devotee is sought, the works of Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda will be grossly misunderstood by their readers. The attentive reader of those works will find that he is always directed to throw himself upon the mercy of the pure devotee if he is to not remain unwarrantably self-satisfied by the deluding results of his wrong method of study. The writings of Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda are valuable because they demolish all empiric objections against accepting the only method of approaching the Absolute in the right way. They cannot and were never intended to give access to the Absolute without help from the pure devotee of Krishna. They direct the sincere inquirer of the truth, as all the revealed scriptures do, to the pure devotee of Krishna, to learn about him by submitting to listen with an open mind to the transcendental sound appearing on his lips. I love this. Before we open any of the books penned by Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda, we would do well to reflect so remember this. Before any time you're about to open up one of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Thakura's books, or before you're about to sing one of his songs, Śrīla Saraswati Thakur is saying, we would do well to reflect a little on the attitude with which, as the indispensable prerequisite to approach its study. Okay, so next time we go to open up Jaiva Dharma something, take a minute to just reflect. What is the prerequisite, the indispensable prerequisite to approach this book, to approach studying this book? It is by neglecting to remember this fundamental principle that the empiric pedants find themselves so hopelessly puzzled in their vain endeavor to reconcile the statements of the different texts of the scriptures. The same difficulty is already in the process of overtaking many of the so-called followers of Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda for the same reason. This has never felt any more relevant than these times now when we see there's one one sannyasi that's been getting a lot of making a lot of whatever affecting a lot of people, Western sannyasi, and he wrote a whole book, a big thick 500-page book, completely misunderstanding Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's teachings and seeing contradictions in Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's teachings and saying, well, which one is right and which one's wrong? Well, one of them, both these things that seem opposite couldn't both be true. So then this one must be, he must have had some reason for explaining it in this way. And then trying to guess the reasons why he thought Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura was teaching something that wasn't the full truth, and that was like a partial truth or something. And so many devotees have been affected by this person. And so this is very relevant. That's what happens when you don't approach Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's words, if you just approach his writings with your brain and not crying and praying for mercy from the pure devotee to be able to understand the words and trying to surrender to the words and trying to follow them, then that's what will happen. You'll completely misunderstand everything he said, and you'll be deluded, and you'll delude others also. Only the Absolute can give himself. The person to whom the Acharya is pleased to transmit his power is alone in a position to convey the divine message. Let me reread that. The person to whom the Acharya is pleased, if we please the Acharya, then that Acharya will transmit his power to us, and only then will we be in a position to convey the divine message. This constitutes the underlying principle of the line of succession of spiritual teachers. The Acharya thus authorized has no other duty than that of delivering intact the message received from all his predecessors. There is no difference between the pronouncements of one Acharya and another. All of them are perfect mediums for the appearance of the divinity in the form of the transcendental name, who is identical with his form, quality, activity, and paraphernalia. Wow. Isn't that amazing? There's no difference between the pronouncements of one Acharya and another. So if somebody is an actual pure Mahabhagavat and they've completely, imbibed these teachings of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, then there's no difference from hearing the teachings from them or hearing it from another pure devotee. It's exactly the same thing. So that's why when there's these personalities like Śrīla Gurudev, Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Bharati Goswami Maharaj, all these acharyas, hearing from them is like hearing from I don't know. I wonder if you could say it's like hearing from another pure devotee, like Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta. I mean, everybody has their own specialities, but the divinity is absolute knowledge. Absolute knowledge has the character of indivisible unity. One particle of absolute knowledge is capable of revealing all the potency of the divinity. Wow! One particle of absolute knowledge is capable of revealing all the potency of the divinity. Just one, if we can just understand one word of Srimad Bhagavatam, then we've understood that one word can reveal the potency of the divinity. Those who want to understand the contents of the volumes penned by the piecemeal acquisitive? Yeah. Sorry, let me reread that. Sorry. Those who want to understand the contents of the volumes penned by the piecemeal acquisitive method applicable to diluting knowledge available to the mind on the mundane plane are bound to be self-deceived. Those who are sincere seekers of the truth are alone eligible to find him in and through the proper method of his quest. In order to be put on the track of the Absolute, listening to the words of the pure devotee is absolutely necessary. The spoken word of the Absolute is the Absolute. It is only the Absolute who can give himself away to the constituents of his power. The Absolute appears to the listening ear of the conditioned soul in the form of the name on the lips of the sadhu. How does a sadhu appear to the listening ear of the conditioned soul? It appears in the form of the name on the lips of the sadhu, the holy name on the lips of the sadhu. This is the key to the whole position. The words of Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda directs the empiric pedant to discard his wrong method of So the words of Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda, they direct the empiric pedant to discard his wrong method and his inclination on the threshold of the real quest of the absolute. If the pedant, is it pedant or pedant? I don't know. Anyways, if the pedant still chooses to carry his heirs into the realm of the absolute truth, he only marches by a deceptive bypath into the regions of darker ignorance by his arrogant study of the scriptures. So strong. If the pedant still chooses, even after hearing Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's words, which direct him to discard his wrong method, but if he ignores that, and he still chooses to carry his heirs into the realm of the absolute truth, he only marches by a deceptive bypath into the regions of darker ignorance by his arrogant study of the scriptures. The method offered by Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda is identical with the object of the quest. The sadhan and the sadhya are the same. The method offered by Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, the process, is identical with the right? Like Harinam is the process, and Harinam is also the goal. And so, there's no difference. The arguments indeed are these, but they can only corroborate, but can never be, The arguments indeed are these, but they can only corroborate, but can never be a substitute for the word from the living source of the truth, who is none other than the pure devotee of Krishna, the concrete personal absolute. If I'm ever I'm sorry I'm going through this so slowly. I'm trying to get it all, and so that's why I've just been kind of stopping and rereading sentences. But if I'm ever misunderstanding something also, just please, don't hesitate to let me know. His greatest gift. Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda's greatest gift to the world consists in this. He has brought about the appearance of those pure devotees who are, at present, carrying on the movement of unalloyed devotion to the feet of Sri Krishna by their own whole-time spiritual service of the divinity. Wow. So what is Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's greatest gift to the world? He has brought about the appearance of those pure devotees. Like he brought us Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada, who at present is carrying on the movements of unalloyed devotion to the feet of Sri Krishna by their own whole-time spiritual service of the divinity. Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura brought us Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and from him, he brought us our Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, our Śrīla Bhakti-Brighan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, our Śrīla Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, our Śrīla Bhakti Rakshak Goswami Maharaj, our Śrīla Bhakti Dai Madhav Goswami Maharaj, and our all these, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura brought us all these pure devotees. This is his greatest gift. The purity of the the purity of the soul is only analogously describable by the resources of the mundane language. What is analogous? Sorry, my English is really bad, really poor. Comparable in certain respects, typically in a way which makes clear the nature of things compared. Okay, so the purity of the soul is only analogously describable by the resources of the mundane language. The highest ideal of empiric morality is no better than the grossest wickedness to the transcendental perfect. Wow, that's a strong statement. The highest ideal of empiric morality is no better than the grossest wickedness to the transcendental perfect, purity of the bona fide devotee of the Absolute. The word morality itself is a mischievous misnomer when it is applied to any quality of the conditioned soul. The hypocritical contentment with a negative attitude is part and parcel of the principle of undiluted immorality. Those who pretend to recognize the divine mission of Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda without aspiring for the unconditional service of those pure devotees who really follow the teachings of the Ṭhākura by the method enjoined by the scriptures and explained by Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda. So those who pretend to recognize that mission of Bhaktivinoda without aspiring for that, in a way that is so eminently suited for the requirements of the sophisticated mentality of the present age, those persons only deceive themselves and their willing victims by their hypocritical professions and performances. These persons must not be confounded with the bona fide members of the flock. His prediction, the religious unity of the world. Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda has predicted the consummation of religious unity of, Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, he predicted the consummation of religious unity of the world by the appearance of the only universal church, which bears the eternal designation of the Brahma Sampradaya. He has given mankind the blessed assurance that all theistic churches will shortly merge in the one eternal spiritual community by the grace of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya. The spiritual community is not circumscribed by the conditions of time and space, race and nationality. Mankind has been looking forward to this far-off divine event through the long ages. Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda has made the conception available in its practical spiritual form to the open-minded empiricist who is prepared to undergo the process of enlightenment. The keystone of the arch has been laid which will afford the needed shelter to all awakened animation under its ample encircling arms. Wow. Those who would thoughtlessly allow their hollow pride of race, pseudo-knowledge, or pseudo-virtue to stand in the way of this long-hoped-for consummation would have to thank only themselves for not being incorporated in the spiritual society of all pure souls. Boom! These plain words need not be misrepresented by arrogant persons who are full of the vanity of empiric ignorance as the pronouncements of aggressive sectarianism. Yeah, people say, this is sectarian. No. But that's just people who are, only the arrogant persons will say that. This is just, the aggressive pronouncement of the concrete truth is the crying necessity of the moment for silencing the aggressive propaganda of specific untruths that is being carried on all over the world by the preachers of empiric controversies for the amelioration of the hard lot of conditioned souls. Does ameliorate mean to the completely emulate, the act of making something? Oh wait, I didn't understand that. Okay, let me reread this. Sorry guys, you're hearing this from somebody who has really poor English. Okay, so the aggressive pronouncement of the concrete truth is the crying necessity of the moment for silencing the aggressive propaganda of specific untruths that is being carried on all over the world by the preachers of empiric controversies. For the amelioration of the hard lot of conditioned souls. The empiric propaganda clothes itself in the language of negative abstraction for deluding those who are engrossed in the selfish pursuit of worldly enjoyment. It's like Mayavad philosophy. It clothes itself in the language of negative abstraction, saying, oh, it's not this, for deluding those who are engrossed in the selfish pursuit of worldly enjoyment. But there is a positive and concrete function of the pure soul, which should not be perversely confounded with any utilitarian form of worldly activity. What's utilitarian? I should have designs to be useful or practical rather than attractive. No, wait. Relating to or adhering to the doctrine of utilitarianism. Okay. What's utilitarianism? Does anybody here know? yeah, I think wait. But there is a positive and concrete function of the pure soul which should not be perversely confounded with any utilitarian form of worldly activity. Mankind stands in need of that positive spiritual function of which the hypocritical impersonalists are in absolute ignorance. The positive function of the soul harmonizes the claims of extreme selfishness with those of extreme self-abnegation in the society of pure souls, even in this mundane world. In its concrete, realizable form, the function is perfectly inaccessible to the empiric understanding. Its imperfect and misleading conception alone is available by the study of the scriptures to the conditioned soul that is not helped by the causeless. Let me read that. Its imperfect and misleading conception alone is available by the study of the scriptures to the conditioned soul that is not helped by the causeless grace of the pure devotees of Godhead. Yes. So, if we aren't helped by the causeless grace of the pure devotees of Godhead, and all that is available to us is the imperfect and misleading conception when we're studying the scriptures. Right. Oh God, that was probably really difficult for all of you to read with me when I'm going so slow and not understanding everything and like that. But sorry,
It was
better.
perfect pace.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was great.
Okay.
Utilitarian is practical.
Without any beauty.
Without any beauty.
Okay.
The practicality of it without embellishment and like that.
Okay. Thank you.
It's utilizing.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Yeah, and I think
Such
next
a
time
fine.
when there's an article by Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura when he's speaking in that's like really high class English, I think it's better if we get somebody maybe you could read it or something like that because I don't always understand everything, you know.
And Bhattrini too. She's well educated in language in that way.
Okay. Oh yeah. Bhavatarani Mataji. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Budhar Prabhu too. He's very knowledgeable in English in language like that.
Yes. I think I got the main gist of it all, most of it. But yeah, it was really.
No, I think you did, and it's great that you went back and tried understand deeper.
Yeah, a lot of words I've heard them all my life, and I don't know what they mean, and so it was good that you stopped on them because I just sort of knew what they meant, and then you'd get the really clear meaning. It was nice.
Okay. Great. I'm just checking Restream to see if there's any comments. Oh, Haribol, Pradyumna Prabhu, and Mantramurti Mataji. Okay. Okay, great. Yeah, Pradyumna says the results justify. Okay, yes. What were you going to say?
This was a wonderful article because it's so apropos of what's going on, like you were saying, what's going on now and the tendency to have the scholastic side of the devotees or people in general, just that they want to only memorize and their approach is wrong. It's simple. Shamarani Didi gave us a paper one time and he told us about it. And then I heard Gurudev, he was saying that I never ate prasad, I served prasad. I never study scripture. I serve Sadhu. And the other important thing is that we have to hear from Sadhu Brahma is really coming only from the lips of the pure devotees. That's so important. I tend the tendency to be like you were saying, I get a little bit of no reverence but about to this scholastic people, that they have memory and they can remember word by word and etc. Time whenever it's written, etc. But it's just the external geographical thing. It's not real bhakti. So thank you. That was
all of this is on a completely all we know is external things. We know things that have to do with the mind and that have to do with like this world and stuff like that. And so we don't understand actually what this is all about. This is something that's happening on the most subtle level. And it's everything is
Right.
completely subtle, transcendental, happening on a completely different realm. And so it's not about the external words that we hear with our material ears and what's being conveyed by material words and all that kind of stuff. That's like you're missing the whole point if you're thinking that's what it is, what's important. But it's actually what's
Yeah.
happening internally in the heart, how we're being transformed, and how our like it's on a completely different plane. And
Yes, and it's always given by the grace, the mercy of from Gauranga Mahaprabhu to the pure devotees. It's the same, because in reading Chaitanya Bhagavat, he mentions Vrindavan Das Thakur that you can only understand these pastimes by the grace, by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Otherwise, you miss. And so he's not always chronologically, like in a line. This happened such day, and then later on to, I write according to how it's revealed to me. So it's all revelation. It's like
yes,
that's the magic. That's what is wonderful. That's what really captivated me in reading Srila Prabhupada when I first joined. I was the only one there in the temple, and my service was to translate each lecture, from the Bhagavad Gita as it is, and then while he was speaking, but before the lecture, I would translate the verse and the purport, and it captivated me. What was conveyed. There was no one that spoke that language in those days in the West. The transcendental language, which is the cathartic, is transformational, is the one that really produces the effect and the result. There are so many Bhagavad Gita editions. When I was a teenager, in Buenos Aires, the Library of Congress, it's very comprehensive, and there's a lot of Europeans, and even Vivekananda came. So it was all there, but nobody became a devotee until the pure devotee comes, and here it is. That's the sound vibration. Well, Bhaktisiddhanta is writing this article. So it's great that you stop and you go back and you analyze this. It's really good. So thank you.
You were saying yesterday how you can't learn it. It has to be realized and imparted to you by a pure devotee.
Yeah, because like the combination of material words can't actually express something that is completely transcendental. And so it's not really about the words so much as it is about the potency behind the words, like the potency of where the words are coming from.
Right.
Like I just remember in Jaiva Dharma, so often like they'd give an example and he'd say, but I'm only giving this example, but this isn't actually explaining the concept, because there isn't any way to understand the concept with your brain.
Right.
It's just kind of giving some kind of thing, like where you can kind of like, okay, I got some kind of and a bus, some kind of like very like idea, but really no combination of words can actually express these inconceivable subject matters that are beyond the grasp of mundane senses.
Yes. And it reminded me of morning walks with Srila Gurudev and Badger near Braj. And one time, they were all sannyasis, and there were some, senior devotees, and they were all discussing Jaiva Dharma and, nature of the soul and like that. And I was closer to Gurudev. And Gurudev turned and he was laughing, and he said, "You'll see that actually all this example, whatever you're talking, it's just it'll be so different when you're there." You know what I mean? It's like, yes. Oh, but well, no, the scholars, the scholastic world, they can describe, everything, memorize the Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's writings, but they're not Shabda Brahma.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Isn't it? So they will be different than when we experience the descending process of the mercy of Guru, Sri Guru, and
Yes.
Krishna himself.
In this, let me just, I'm just going to open up this issue of Rays of the Harmonists is 2014, the last Rays of the Harmonists that was ever published. Let me just find it. It's full of, it's such a, you can get it for free online. Where is it? Rays of the Harmonist. But there's an article by Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Keshav Goswami Maharaj, and it's a very technical article. But let's just see it. There. Yeah, this magazine, by the way, is just so nectar. There's a Bhaktivinoda Dashakam, Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda, Speciality of Bhaktivinoda. That's what we just read now. And the Manobhrishta of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura and the impediments of fulfilling it. That's a really important letter. Then, okay, this one, Ṭhākura Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda by Srimad Bhaktivedanta Keshav Goswami Maharaj. This one is an amazing article, but it's very technical. It's like very dense. It's but he's basically expressing the same thing, but in a really, yeah. Maybe there isn't time to go through that now, but that's also a very important article on the same topic, and yeah, I mean it's already 8:40, and I should start I shouldn't go on for too much longer because I need to go for our program at the Mott.
Well, sorry, my apologies. I didn't mean to deviate in any way.
Not at all.
Purification.
No. That actually, I think it's really nice to spend more time rather than just like jumping from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, but actually spend time and like really see how much. Actually, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, he writes in Krishna Samhita, he writes a whole thing about this. About the method of study, and like not on this topic of transcendental and stuff like that, but just in a more like basic way of the method of study is like when you actually make something your own, like you can understand it in your own words, and you spend time with it rather than just. But I'll have to ask Vajanti Mala to send that to me. She once showed it to me, and it was really practical for just.
This reminds me. Reminds me of Prabhupada when he said, what is Tagoshti? And we understood it, devotees understood, oh, well, it's a meeting among devotees, and, and the duties are assigned, you do this, you have to do that, I mean, this has to be done. And Prabhupada said, no, he said, actually, I want Istagoshtis to be basically or primarily discussing what you heard from me, discussing the verse at that time, that all the devotees that, they can then bring their understanding and then analyze it that way, and so yeah, I think it's I apologize if it takes time, but yeah.
There are quotes of Srila Prabhupada, like a bunch of quotes I found on Srila Prabhupada telling his disciples to write. And he was really happy when he heard that disciples were having like an hour writing session of writing what they understood from what they read. And like Srila Prabhupada was giving a lot of emphasis and expressing in your own words what you've understood from like the teachings also.
Right.
Yeah. I since there isn't so much time left, I think I'd just like to read this one by Srila Trivikram Goswami Maharaj. There's actually a video of it. It's beautiful. It's very short and very beautiful and like unique. It's not. Let me just. I'll find it here. It's at the end of the book. Let me just. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. And there's so much by Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. Maybe we should go on one day after Vishwarup Mahotsav. We should just do another day of reading from Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's writings and more of his glories, because there's so much. And so we can just start Chaitanya Bhagavat one day later. Where is it? It's before.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, let me just type in Trivikram. That will come up then. Trivikram. Oh, this is it. I went past it. Okay. So, Srila Trivikram, this is from an excerpt from a speech given by Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura Goswami Maharaj, 20 March 1997 during Navadvip Dham Parikrama. And you can see when he's reading this, he's actually like, he breaks down crying. It's really intense. Yeah, really beautiful. But 1 second. Let me just view hide sidebar. There. Okay. So Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura Goswami Maharaj. This is so you can find this on YouTube. This is a morning speech at Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's Samadhi at Swananda Sukara Kunj in Godrum. A prayer for his mercy. Although I am very unfortunate, at the same time, I am extremely fortunate, because on the strength of the mercy of Shri Guru and the Vaishnavas, I am participating in this Dham Parikrama. Many of us have no proper understanding or realization of this Dham, this Parikrama, and the Sankirtan pastimes that took place here. Only by the mercy of Shri Guru is it possible for the heart of the jiva to have such realization. The great personality who has mercifully manifested the Swarup of this Dham before us is Satchid Ananda Bhaktivinoda. We have assembled at his bhajan stali. Our exclusive prayer to him is that he bestow his mercy upon us. By his mercy, we can enter the realm of bhakti. In particular, we will understand the pastimes of Sriman Mahaprabhu, who is the embodiment of magnanimity. It is only by Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's kindness that we can understand something of this. Had he not come, a hellish worm like me would remain forever deprived of his gift. This certainly is true. His immortal writings and message sustain our life and soul. His immortal writings and message sustain our life and soul. He is eternal. Therefore, we pray that he bestow his mercy upon us, understanding the anguish in our hearts. Since I am bereft of tattva gyan, I have nothing else to say. I pray that he is merciful so that I can become eligible to realize these subject matters. Yeah, if you see the video, it's so much more intense because he's like throughout all this he's crying and like he's like barely able to speak. Like it's really, yeah. And then in the same day, in the evening class at Sri Devananda Gaudiya Math, then Srila Trivikram Goswami Maharaj, he explains a very interesting point. He says, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, Gaura Shakti. Right, when we say Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's pranam mantra, what is it? Namo Bhaktivinodaya Satchid Ananda Namane Gaura Shakti Sarupa, Gaura Shakti Sarup Rupanuga Varayate. So what does Gaura Shakti Sarup mean? Who was Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura? He came in a certain year and he left in a certain year. But if we base our understanding of who he is on such information, we will not understand or realize his actual nature, his prakrit tattva. Many people, because Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, he wrote the Swalikit Jivanamritam, like his own autobiography to Lali, and he gave it to Lali Prasad. And actually, my Gurudev said that Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura didn't write this. I saw on Namrasa's podcast, this Jagadananda did a thing in it. I wouldn't recommend watching it. There was lots of very terrible things in it. But he said that Gurudev told him that the Swalikit Jivanamrita is not actually, it's not true. It's not written by Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. But when I was at the Bhaktivedanta Research Center, I actually saw the direct Swalikita Jivanamrita, like with Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's handwriting. They had it for a short time. And I don't know, I mean, sorry, somebody's, very possible, like, I don't, like, maybe what my Gurudev said is completely true and like fully, but also I think maybe my Gurudev didn't want people to be misled by it, because lots of people, after reading that Swalikita Jivanamrita, they see Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura as being just some, like, they because he writes about himself in such an ordinary way. He also writes things like that
May
he was
I
eating.
say something in this connection?
Yeah. Just one thing. He also says that he eats meat, and like that he has eaten meat, and like it shows his progression. But what were you gonna say, Kishore?
Yeah, one devotee, he wrote a letter to Srila Prabhupada asking Srila Prabhupada that a god brother of his has told him that Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura was associating with the Mayavadis. And he was asking Prabhupada, was he ever a Mayavadi, or is this true? And Srila Prabhupada wrote back giving him a very nice reply. Srila Prabhupada wrote back saying, yes, Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, he may have been associating with the Mayavadis for some time, but this was his Leela. And afterwards, we see what he did. We see how he manifested his Acharya Leela, manifested his Acharyatva. And Srila Prabhupada wrote there, similarly, we can make this comparison to Arjuna, and how Arjuna is a pure devotee, but he wasn't put into illusion by Lord Krishna.
Yes. Wow. That's
So
perfect.
basically, I've also read what Srila Gurudev has said on this topic. Really, does it really matter though? I mean, whether Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura is Nitya Siddha or Sadhan Siddha or anything of that, does it really matter after we've heard everything from Srila Trivikram Goswami Maharaj, from Bhakti Pradhan Keshav Samraj, from Bhakti Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada? We see how glorious Sachidananda Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura Mahashaya is as a completely transcendental personality.
Yeah, and I mean, I think our acharyas wouldn't say that he's Sadhan Siddha. He's Swarup Siddha, right?
Yes, he's Nitya Siddha.
He's completely Nitya Siddha. He's not Swarup Siddha. But
Yeah.
people, they get misled by reading Śrīla Bhaktivinoda. That's why we see all of our acharyas, they like our Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's glorification. Now what Śrīla Trivikram Goswami Maharaj is saying, or Param Gurudev, what he wrote, they all put all the emphasis on not misunderstanding Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura as being an ordinary person. Like, so much emphasis needs to be given on this, because even today, so many people, even Western devotees and people, they think, they see things about Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura and they start to think that, oh, okay, he's like me and he's like that, and he just went on a spiritual path. They don't understand that this is all just a Leela, like Srila Prabhupada was mentioning. And so, yeah. I'll just continue on with Srila Trivikram Goswami Maharaj is saying. So who was Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura? He came in a certain year and left in a certain year. If we base our understanding on who he is on such information, we will not understand or realize his actual nature, his prakrit tattva. But we know that he is non-different from Sri Gadadhar Pandit. He is Gadadhar Abhinna Tattva. Okay, he's not different from Gadadhar Pandit. And we know that Sri Gadadhar Pandit is the very potency of Sri Gaur. Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura is Shakti Matayor Abheda. So Shakti Matayor Abheda. That Shakti, potency, and Shaktiman, the possessor of potency, are non-different. Therefore, since Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura is Shakti, he is non-different from Shaktiman. It is therefore possible for him only to bestow upon us the complete identity of Shaktiman, the possessor of potency, and thus make us aware of Shaktiman Tattva. Isn't that amazing? Because Shakti and Shaktiman are completely non-different, and Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura is Shakti, then only he is able to bestow Shaktiman, the possessor of potency, and make us aware of Shaktiman Tattva. If such Shakti, and what Shakti is it? It's Gadadhar Pandit Shakti. So if such Shakti, such intimate Shakti, the dearmost Shakti, the most capable Shakti of Shaktiman, if that Shakti did not exist, then we would never be able to understand the reality of Shaktiman. So who can understand Krishna better than Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, who's Gadadhar Shakti Abhinna Swarup? It was for this reason that Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura came to inform this world of the intrinsic nature, or Swarup, of the Lord's potency, as well as the intrinsic nature of Shaktiman. It was not possible for anybody else to reveal this Gaur Dham and Gaur Tattva. Shri Bhagavan is non-different from his Shakti. There are so many Shaktis. Parasa Shaktir vividhaiva shruyate. There is only one Parashakti, and this Parashakti has various manifestations. That's from the Shvetashratar Upanishad 6.8. The capability to attain thorough knowledge of absolute reality, of the Tattva Vastu, is possible only for Shakti, which is very close to Bhagavan, united with him, and absorbed in him. From his writings alone, we can somewhat understand his identity. The words emanating from his lips are the transcendental holy name. It is Nam Brahma, or the transcendental sound vibration, Shabda Brahma. They are not mundane sound vibration, Jara Shabda. As a result of that Shabda Brahman alone, we see that so many people have assembled here for Navadvip Dham Parikrama. Therefore, we begin our parikrama from Godrum by first taking shelter of him. If he is merciful, then only can we have some understanding and conception about who is our worshipful deity, our Aradhya Tattva, our Upasya Tattva. Jai Śrīla Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura ki Jai. Yeah, and Srila Bhakti-Vigan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, maybe we could read that article the day after, after Vishwarup Mahotsav. And he goes really deep into why Srila Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura is called Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda. Why do we say Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura? This is the most important topic to discuss today, because this is, without really going into this topic, then, like Srila Saraswati Thakur was saying, we'll just be misled by his teachings even. By his direct words, we'll be misled by them. This is the most important thing. Sorry, I've talked so much today, but I'm very grateful to have this opportunity, and maybe we can sing one last song about Srila Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, and then conclude for today.
Jai Ho.
Jai Ho. And if anybody has anything else that they want to add, then feel free.
I didn't say anything bad, did I?
No, of course not.
Right?
No, it was beautiful. No, you just repeated the words of Srila Prabhupada. And I was just talking all sorts of junk, whatever my own things or whatever, but like you were actually quoting directly our Srila Prabhupada, so that was perfect.
Thank you, Kishore.
Okay, so maybe let's just do one, we'll end with one of his, with maybe Vrishabhanu Sutta. I think that's a nice one. To Vrishabhanu Sutta. Or should we do Sharanagati? Like more, I think because we did, yeah, actually, oh God. I was wondering if you should do like a Prayojana song or a song that's more relevant to us. I think let's just do this for his pleasure. We'll sing Vrishabhanu Sutta. Okay. To serve the lotus feet of the daughter of King Vrishabhanu, I shall become her Palyadasi, her affectionately sheltered maidservant, and strive to constantly bring her all happiness. I shall know within my heart that Sri Krishna takes pleasure in Sri Radha's happiness, and so I shall never desire to abandon her lotus feet and to enjoy separately with Sri Krishna. The Sakis are my supreme well-wishers and my gurus regarding the loving affairs of the divine couple. Remaining faithfully under their guidance, I shall serve Sri Radha's lotus feet, which are like wish-fulfilling trees. Let anyone aside from Sri Radha's party be as they are. I am indeed always partial to Srimati Radhika, and I never look upon those who are not. This song actually appears twice. It appears at the end of Sharanagati. There's a section called Siddhi Lalasa, and it also appears in the Siddhi Lalasa section of Gita Mala. And I think it's most important. Like, we should give most emphasis for us at our stage now. We should give most emphasis on the Sharanagati songs. But I just wanted to sing one Prayojan song because today's his day, and this is the ultimate aspiration. So Siddhi Lalasa means Lalasa means hankering, yearning for Siddhi, ultimate perfection. And what's that? This is that. Vrishabhanu Sutta Acharana Sevane Oivo Je Palyadasi Vrishabhanu Sutta Acharana Sevane Oivo Je Palyadasi Shri Radhara Sukha Satata Sadhane Rohibo Yami Prayasi Shri Radhar Sukha Satata Sadhane Rohibo Yami Prayasi Vrishabhanu Sutta Charana Sevane Oivo Je Palyadasi Vrishabhanu Sutta Charana Sevane Oivo Je Palyadasi Shri Radhara Sukhe Krishnera Je Sukh Janibo Manete Ami Shri Radhara Sukhe Krishnera Je Sukh Janibo Manete Ami Radha Pada Chari Shri Krishna Sangame Kabuna Hoibo Kami Radha Pada Chari Shri Krishna Sangame Kabuna Hoibo Kami Vrishabhanu Sutta Charana Sevane Oivo Je Palyadasi Sakhi Gana Mama Parama Surit Yugala Premera Guru Sakhi Gana Mama Parama Surit Yugala Premer Guru Taranuga Hoye Sevi Boradhara Charana Kalapatar Taranuga Hoye Sevi Boradhara Charana Kalapataru রাধা পখ ছাড়ে যে জন সে জন, যে ভাবে সে ভাবে থাকে। রাধা পখ ছাড়ে যে জন সে জন, যে ভাবে সে ভাবে থাকে। আমি তো রাধিকা পক্ষপাতি সদা, আমি তো রাধিকা পক্ষপাতি সদা। কব নাহি হেরি থাকে, কব নাহি হেরি তাকে। বৃষভানু সুতা চরণ সেবনে, হইব যে পাল্য দাসী। বৃষভানু সুতা চরণ সেবনে, হইব যে পাল্য দাসী। শ্রীরাধার সুখ সতত সাধনে, রহিব আমি প্রয়াসী। শ্রীরাধার সুখ সতত সাধনে, রহিব আমি প্রয়াসী। বৃষভানু সুতা চরণ সেবনে, হইব যে পাল্য দাসী। হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে, হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে। হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে। হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে। হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে। হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে। হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে। হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে। হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে। হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে। জয় রাধে জয় রাধে জয় রাধে, জয় শ্রী রাধে জয় রাধে জয় রাধে জয় রাধে, জয় শ্রী রাধে। জয় বৃষভানু নন্দিনী রাধে রাধে, বৃষভানু নন্দিনী রাধে রাধে। জয় বৃষভানু নন্দিনী রাধে রাধে, বৃষভানু নন্দিনী রাধে রাধে। জয় রাধা মাধব রাধে, জয় রাধা মাধব রাধে। জয় গৌর গদাধর জয় গৌর গদাধর, জয় গৌর গদাধর জয় গৌর গদাধর। জয় ভক্তি বিনোদ ঠাকুর ভক্তি বিনোদ ঠাকুর ভক্তি বিনোদ। জয় ভক্তি বিনোদ ঠাকুর ভক্তি বিনোদ। জয় প্রভুপাদ জয় প্রভুপাদ জয় প্রভুপাদ জয় প্রভুপাদ। জয় গুরুদেব Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol. Shinitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Just one thing. I want to start going through the songs, the books of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, the songbooks, all the prayers that he wrote in Kalyana Kalpataru and in what is it, Gitavali, Sharanagati, and Gitamala. And so because I'm really busy, I'm not going to be able to spend so much time on this, but I would eventually. Maybe during the winter time we can do this. We can go through every single song because we need to translate them all for the abridged edition of the Gaudiya Giti Gucha, which will be coming out, which we're working on right now. There's going to be a small song, like the current abridged edition, which will expand a bit. We're going to add in some songs and make some big changes actually to it. And then that will remain the same, but then we're going to make a big abridged edition of the Gaudiya Giti Gucha, of this book, which, I mean, a kirtan in this book is takes up that much space. And for us, it'll take up a whole page. So this whole book, plus I also want to add in the Gaudiya Stotraratnamala, which has 90 stotrams in it. And so when I'm focusing on that, it would be helpful for my publication seva and I think it'd be really nice to go through every single song of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura in each one of these books, and then I'll be simultaneously preparing it for this abridged edition. But right now, if you go to vineofdevotion.com, I'm just now starting a synopsis of each one of these books. Next Akadashi, I will put out something about Kalyana Kalpataru, just all the different sections, what songs are contained in them, some parts of it that stand out to me like that. And so, if you'd like to go through these books with me, you can check out vineofdevotion.com and subscribe if you like. And all right, that's all. And maybe I feel like that we need to glorify Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura more. This wasn't enough. So, as I mentioned before, I think maybe the day after Vishwarup Mahotsav, we can glorify Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura more. We can maybe read something by him or read that article by Bhaktivedanta Keshav Goswami Maharaj, and then we'll continue on with Chaitanya Bhagavat. All right, Kishore, would you like to do? Oh, and also Kishore, you said that you'll be free to glorify your Guru Maharaj tomorrow.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So maybe we can read Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj's Hari Kathā about Haridas Thakur, whose disappearance day it is tomorrow, and then Kishore can glorify Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj. That will be our program for tomorrow. All right. Would you like to do Jadwani?
Sure. Jai Shri Gaur Garadhar Radha Madhav Ji ki jai. Jai Suprakash Shri Guru Gauranga Gan Harga Gidit Hari Radha Vinod Bihari Radha Nayanath Radharaman Bihari Radha Madhav Ji ki jai. Jai Natyalela Pravishtam Vishnupar Paramaham Sabri Brajakacharya Varya Astotrashta Shishaman Bhaktivigan Bhariti Goswami Guru Maharaj ki jai. Jai Natyalela Pravishtam Vishnupar Paramaham Sabri Brajakacharya Varya Astotrashta Shishaman Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Patit Pavan Gurudev ki jai. Jai Natyalela Pravishtam Vishnupar Stotrashta Shishaman Bhakti Balabhtirtha Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Natyalela Pravishtam Vishnupar Stotrashta Shishaman Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Natyalela Pravishtam Vishnupar Stotrashta Shishaman Bhaktivedanta Tarvikaram Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Natyalela Pravishtam Vishnupar Stotrashta Shishaman Bhakti Daita Maru Goswami Param Guru Maharaj ki jai. Jai Natyalela Pravishtam Vishnupar Stotrashta Shishaman Bhakti Pragyan Keshu Goswami Maharaj Param Gurudev Charikeshari ki jai. Jai Natyalela Pravishtam Vishnupar Stotrashta Shishaman A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Goswami Maharaj Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Natyalela Pravishtam Vishnupar Stotrashta Shishaman Jagar Guru Shri Varishabhana Vidaita Das Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Ṭhākura Prabhupada ki jai. Sabrakash Śrīla Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Ṭhākura ki jai. Natyalela Pravishtam Vishnupar Mahaparam Bhagavat Parvar Paramahamsa Ashtotrashta Shishaman Gaur Kishore Das Babshi Maharaj ki jai. जय नित्यालेला प्रविष्टाम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्रस्त शिशिमाद सचिदानंद शिल भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर महाशय की जय। जय नित्यालेला प्रविष्टाम विष्णुपाद वैष्णव सर्वोम अष्टोत्रस्त शिशिमाद जगन्नाथ बाबूजी महाराज की जय। श्री सूर्यकुंदवास शिल मधुसूदन दास बाबूजी महाराज की जय। श्री उदयदास उदरान दास की जय। श्री शिला रामचंद्र कविराज की जय। शिल रसकानंद मुरारी प्रभु की जय। शिल विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर पार की जय। शिल गुरुविदाचार्य बलदेव विभूषण प्रभु की जय। शिल नरोत्तम दास ठाकुर महाशय श्रीनिवास आचार्य श्यामानंद पंडित प्रभुतराय की जय। शिल कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय। व्यासअवतार अर्का विशल वृंदावन दास ठाकुर महाशय की जय। श्री अष्टकविराज वसुर जानव नित्यानंद द्वारश गोपाल श्री चौषति महंत की जय। जय श्री रूप श्री सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ सर्गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर यनमानंद लोकनाथ गर्भ हरिगौर परिषार वृंद की जय। नमाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। शिल ईश्वर परिपार की जय। शिल मारविंद्र परिपार की जय। श्री अंडरदीप मायापुर समनदीप गौद्रुमदीप मध्यादीप कौलदीप ऋतुदीप जानुदीप माधुर द्रुमादीप रुद्रदीप मात्मका श्रीनावदीप धाम की जय। श्री एक चक्र धाम की जय। श्री शांतिपुर धाम की जय। श्री गौर चंद्र भगवान की जय। श्री गौतम चंद्र भगवान की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्णा गोपीनाथ गोपी गोपा गो गिरि गोविदान वर्षात्मनात्माक श्री ब्रज मंडल धाम की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गंग सखी यामन सखी तुलसी भक्ति देवी की जय। वृषभानुनंदिनी श्रीमती राधा रानी ठाकुरानी की जय। श्री ललिता विशाखा चित्र चंपकलद तुंग विदे इंदुलेखा रंग देवी सुदेवी अरि सखी वृंद की जय। श्री आनंग प्रेम मंजलाली श्री रूप लवंगा राग विलास गुण रति कस्तूरी अरिमंजारी वृंद की जय। श्री कमल मंजरी देवी की जय। श्री नयन मणि मंजरी देवी की जय। श्री विनोद मंजरी देवी की जय। श्रीमती वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भगवती पूर्णमास योगमाय देवी की जय। श्री गोपीश्वर श्री शिव महादेव की जय। जय श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा सुदर्शन चक्र नीलमाधव जी की जय। श्री जगन्नाथ पुरी पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र मंडल नीलाचल धाम की जय। सर्वा विघ्नामिनाशन करे भक्त विघ्नामिनाश श्री नृसिंह देव की जय। भक्तराज भक्त प्रवर श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। शिवला लक्ष्मण सिंह की जय। श्री चरिराम चरि संप्रदाय चर्याचार्य की जय। श्री मध्वर मनोज विष्णु स्वामी निम्बदित्य चर्याचार्य की जय। आकर्मतरा श्री चैतन्य माद की जय। गौरी माद वृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमाद भगवताम भगवद गीता चैतन्य चरितामृत चैतन्य भागवत जैव धर्म आदि सर्व गौरी वैष्णव ग्रंथ वृंद की जय। All the books of His Divine Grace Śrīla Sachidananda Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura Mahāsaya की जय। त्रिभुवन मंगल श्री हरिनाम प्रभु की जय। त्रिभुवन मंगल श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन युग धर्म की जय। त्रिभुवन मंगल धन्य कलियुग तर्क ब्रह्म श्री हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे महामंत्र की जय। श्री अनंत कुरी वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री समकट गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री भक्ति विनोद आसन की जय। श्री सुरभि कुंज की जय। श्री स्वनंद सुग्र कुंज की जय। श्री भक्ति विनोद धर की जय। श्री भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर महाशय समाधि मंदिर की जय। श्री योग भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर महाशय समाधि हरि पुष्प समाधि मंदिर की जय। जय नित्यालेल प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपार हर परमहंस हंस अष्टोत्रस्त श्री श्रीमात् सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर महाशय शुभ आविर्भाव महामहोत्सव की जय। सप्तम गोस्वामी श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर महाशय की जय। परमहंस शिरोमणि श्री भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर महाशय की जय। जगर गुरु श्री श्रीमात् सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर महाशय सप्तम गोस्वामी श्री परमेष्टि गुरुदेव की जय। Jai Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, Jai Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, Jai Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. Shri Gaur Shakti Swarup Shri Srimad Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura Mahashai ki Jai. Shri Anand Kori Vaishnava Vrind ki Jai. Shri Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrind ki Jai. Jai Sri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Shri Maipur Dham, that which was revealed by Thakur Bhaktivinoda ki Jai. Jai Shri Radhe Sham.
Hari Bol. Vrindai Tulsidevai Priyai Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Sattvatai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyai Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dhanyavad pranams. Oh, and I see Vidya Lala Sadidi, she's asking for the magazine that I was reading from. So I'll just show you here, if anybody wants to read any of these articles, they are available on, here, I'm just open up a new tab. Just, if you go into Google, type in purebhakti.com in Google search, and then type in Rays of the Harmonist, type in 2014, and it should come up. Let's see what happens when I do that. purebhakti.com, Rays of the Harmonist, 2014. There it is. Number 26, it's the first result. Satchidananda Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. Then you can find this magazine, which is full of glorifications from all of our acharyas. There's also an amazing glorification by Śrīla Bhakti Rakshakshira Goswami Maharaj, by Śrīla Prabhupada, by, it's a really, like one of my favorite issues of Rays of the Harmonist. We published it for, I think it was the 50th disappearance day of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. 100th disappearance day. 100th disappearance day, yeah. All right. Oh, and this Vidya Lala Sadidi had this question. Where is it? I know it's not really related, but I wanted to ask the senior devotees present here if they know which scriptures we can have proper description of the expansions of Srimati Radharani. Is there a chart depicting how the different gopis, Lakshmis, Yogamaya emanate from Radharani, like the chart showing how Lord Krishna expands into Balaram, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and the rest? Yeah. Do you have anything to say on that, Kishore? I mean, it's like
As Sridhani Maharaj.
Yeah, Chaitanya Maharaj. He's
good at coming up with charts.
Yes. Go to you can, and Chaitanya Maharaj, you go to bvtridandi.com, bvtridandi.com, and then you find, he might even have some kind of thing like that there. He has all sorts of charts and resources on that website. And you can also contact him. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for everybody for the wonderful discussion and everything. And I'll see you tomorrow for a special day. Okay, Haribol.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Madhukar.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Haribol. Dandavat pranam.
Thank you, Kishoriji, and Dandavas to all devotees present.
And I'm looking forward to your glorification tomorrow of your Guru Maharaj. All right. Haribol.
Jai.
Jai Radhe.